going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Rob Durant podcast. Fellas, we got a good episode. NBA's kicking off today. But how you guys doing before we get into everything?
Chilling.
Doing good, bro. Doing good.
Excited as fuck. I'm glad the NBA is back.
Oh yeah, man. We sports right now is at its peak. We
Yep.
got the World Series starting on Friday. WNBA just wrapped up. NBA starting up. NFL strong. It's a good time to be a sports fan, man.
Trifecta.
Speaking
Holy
of the
Trinity.
WNBA, New York Liberty,
That's right. First
speaking of the
ever
World Series,
championship.
New York Yankees.
And the World
Mhm.
Series.
Speaking of the NFL, New York. Oh shit. Never mind. My bad. My bad.
They have both right. They are tied with the same record.
Giants and Jets?
Yeah.
That's
To the
crazy.
fucking
That is crazy.
bunch of bums.
That's wild.
Oh man.
I saw that nigga Daniel Jones ain't throw a touchdown pass in like over 600 days
Yeah, but life.
at home.
Yeah.
How is that even possible?
How is that possible, son? Yo, that's 2 seasons you haven't thrown a touchdown in your home. Like that's
Crazy.
That's terrible.
That should be statistically impossible.
They need a new quarterback.
They do.
Yeah. Yes.
Since we're on the NFL, man, anything besides that stand out about the last week?
You mean besides the Giants getting destroyed and the Jets getting destroyed? Yeah, well, the Texans and Packers game was really close as we all thought it was gonna be, and it did go down to the wire. So not too surprised there. I was actually more surprised with the way I guess the Chiefs beat the 49ers. Because Patrick Mahomes looked terrible in a way. Like for his standards, he looked terrible. But they still got the win. Their defense is pretty elite. So shout out to the Chiefs for pulling out that win and disappointed in the 49ers and their players getting hurt. So that might affect their season. But the NFC West is kind of weak right now, so they could still win the division. They're all kind of like 3-4 or whatever.
Yo,
And
wait,
mhm.
before you keep going, I think it was Irvin the last episode that pointed out, like, I don't know if it was the episode or when we were just talking, that Mahomes really hasn't hit a stride at all,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and the team is undefeated.
Yeah. It's a scary team.
That's scary stuff. And you
Yeah.
wonder if I know we kind of touched on it too, like if they land a receiver or something, some type of playmaker to add to that offense, on top of how well that defense has been playing this year, we might be looking at a repeat.
Yeah.
They might not even need the other receiver. Like they just finding ways to win. I think we mentioned this in a couple episodes already. It's a team that's not going to beat themselves. You got to beat that team. They're not going to make mistakes. They know how to clock manage. They know how to make key plays on key times, and they just do whatever it takes to win. Last game, Mahomes used the soft ass um, officiating towards the quarterback to his advantage. He was out there looking like Lamar Jackson
Yeah.
and Derrick Henry at the same time, bum rushing dudes. So
Yo, he really did.
Yeah, he trucked him.
yeah.
Yo,
And then look down on him like I'm your daddy.
Yeah.
So yeah, so they just I don't know, they just always seem to do the right play at the right time and they always find ways to win. And they've already won three, so it's
it just no moment is too big when you've already done what they've done. To them, it's like what we can overcome whatever's in front of us. And they play with poise and they have good leadership, they have good coaching. They're just this team is just up and down in the way it's run. Kudos to that coaching staff. Kudos to Mahomes' leadership, Kelsey. Like no matter who's there, they're on a string.
Yeah, and The other thing that stood out to me this week was a lot of injuries, right, from a lot of key players. To name a few, Deshaun Watson out for the year, Mike Evans, hamstring injury. He's a very durable guy, so I would say he will miss like maybe 1 or 2 games most. Chris Godwin out for the year, Brandon Ayuk out for the year, Debo Samuel dealing with pneumonia in the lungs, so I guess he's week to week. Jaden Daniels week to week. What are you guys' thoughts on all these injuries? Like who do y'all think has lost the most out of these teams?
I'd probably go 49ers losing two receivers. I mean, we don't know how long Samuel's going to be out, but
Yeah.
losing two receivers basically back to back, and then losing one for the year. That knee injury was just gross to look at.
Yeah.
But that's a big loss for a team that's already missing Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Doesn't, how is he going to look when he comes back? If he's himself, that's a big weapon, obviously. But if he's not himself 100%, now that it's a very shaky offense at that.
Yeah. I'll go on the flip side with the Buccaneers. They lost Evans and Good Godwin. And Mayfield was having a pretty good season. They're
Yeah.
throwing his name in the MVP conversation. They didn't play too bad actually against the Ravens. They only lost by 10. And it actually showed they were losing by like 30. They showed like guts to actually make it a competitive game towards the end. But two costly interceptions. And now two of his best receivers are out for some time. So I think that's gonna hurt the Bucks. They're still in a winnable division, but Atlanta's on their ass. So and I think they play them next week, so we'll see. But I think that's gonna hurt them a lot. I had to drop Mayfield for fantasy after that. I'm sorry.
He
I'm gonna
still
go with Young. I'm gonna
he,
go out Young. That
he
that team, it was looking good. Aside from those interceptions, he had an interception right there in the red zone, and it
Could have
was
ran.
a direct pass, unfortunately, right to the defense. But that was one touchdown right there. And to hold your own against the Ravens, we've spoken about the Ravens quite often. So to hold your own against them, it's a big slot. And like Mike Evans has been super reliable the last 7 seasons. Can count on 1,000 yards every single season from him.
yeah.
No, no super demand for anything. He's just super consistent.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a big hole. And I hope Baker, aside from those interceptions, Baker and the offense, they were doing their thing. So I think it'll be a big blow.
Mhm.
Yeah. We'll see what kind of impact that has on the team. Baker is still number 1 in fantasy, by the way.
Well,
Yeah.
See how it goes.
all
Yeah,
right.
man. But now let's get to these games. Week 8. Um, there's no bye weeks this week, which is interesting. But there's not a lot of good games this week either, and that was interesting to see
Yeah.
as well. But we'll see. I don't know how they do these scheduling. Like I'm pretty sure they have a format, but it's so odd to me. But the first game I wanted to touch base with y'all, we were just mentioning this team, Tampa Bay. They're gonna be hosting Atlanta, as Haciel mentioned. Uh, who do you got?
I'll jump in first. Because of the injuries, I'm going Atlanta here. I don't think the Bucks have. I think they'll show some guts because Baker Mayfield is not gonna just roll over. He's gonna do his thing. He's gonna try to make more plays with his legs, perhaps. They really have to try to get that run game going. But yeah, I think the injuries will be too much to overcome this week, at least for this week. So I'm gonna go Atlanta winning that game.
Yeah, I got Atlanta winning as well. Same reasons, injuries.
Yeah, I agree. I have Atlanta. This Tampa Bay defense has to get really creative in order to finally get those timely pressure on Kirk Cousins. But I think it's a tall task. I think Atlanta they're hitting some sort of a stride right now. They lost last game, so I think they would want to bounce back and win this one.
I'm going Atlanta.
Okay, so
Toss me.
that's a sweep for Atlanta. Maybe we should have thought about this game before we chose it. But the next game might be a little different because this is one of my personal favorites, maybe the favorite game of the week. Philadelphia at Cincinnati. Very interesting game for me. What do y'all think?
We'll go Philly. I got Philly beating Cincinnati. Um, Saquon Barkley gonna run that ball, and they're gonna just dominate. To be honest, I mean Joe Burrows and the wide receiver probably get some points on the board, but I don't think it'll be enough to compete with the Philadelphia Eagles. So I got the Eagles winning.
Yeah, Philly's coming off a high right now, with their game. Saquon running all over his former team. But I'm gonna go Cincinnati on this one. I think the connection between Burrow and Jamar Chase is doing really well. I think Jamar Chase leads in yards, if I'm not mistaken, in receiving yards this season.
He does.
I see that continuing, and I'm gonna go Cincinnati take this game in a high scoring affair, I might add. Like both teams in the 30s.
Okay.
I'm going Cincy. I got Joe Burrow. I think that he walks away with the win, and I'm not trusting. I know Philly had a great game, but they beat the Giants. I mean, Saquon was bound to have a great game there. So, but I'm going Cincy in this case.
I think that Philly probably definitely has the better running game with Saquon. Offensive line, maybe they might have the better offensive line, I would say, especially with that touch push. Unstoppable play, by the way. We might have to do an episode of talking about unstoppable plays, but the touch push is up there. And I'm talking about any sport, like Kareem Sky Hook, stuff like that. But let me see. The defenses, I would say Philly definitely stops the run better. Secondary, it's a toss up. I think I'll give Philly maybe the slight advantage. So really, the only advantages the Bengals have is the quarterback position, and I'm not sure how y'all feel about the receiving core. Like, who do y'all feel has a better receiving core between these two teams? Because you got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith in one corner, and you got
Yeah.
Jamar Chase and T Higgins in the next. I personally have the Cincy duo a little bit higher
Mm-hmm.
than the Philly, but Philly does have maybe better options in the back. They have Jahan Dodson, and
Yeah.
you know,
I'm
Yeah,
gonna go ahead.
I'd probably give the edge. Originally, I wanted to say Philly, but then I'm thinking about Jamar Chase, and he's just so damn good.
He's
So I
number
think,
one.
yeah, he's where I give the edge to Cincy.
I,
mm,
I think I'm gonna take the edge for the Eagles because they have a better O line. I feel like they'll give Jalen Hurts will have a little bit more time to throw the ball to either of his dynamic receivers.
yeah,
And Joe Burrow is getting smacked back there. He's just throwing it off.
they've
But
got they've
they're
gotten a
good.
little better, a little
Yeah.
bit.
It's
Uh,
just it hasn't turned into wins. They're 1-6. They're leading the league in yardage, but they're still losing the game. So
they're 3-4. They're getting a couple wins. They got
they
a
are.
yeah, they got a 2 game winning streak right now
I'm
going.
bugging then.
Yeah,
Damn,
so, and,
left them out for dead.
and nah,
Definitely
honestly,
got a shot when I see yo. Golly. Man said 1-6. I'm like, yo,
I thought that's what I saw. I'm bugging.
that didn't sound correct to me. I was
you
like,
probably
wait,
Oh,
thought it was
it's the Browns that
the
are one and
Browns. Yeah,
six. My bad. Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
yeah, I thought you
Taking
said
it back.
when you took the Sean Watson off for the year, I'm sorry to say this, but I was like, oh, maybe they'll do better. Ain't
It's
doing much
true
better
though.
with him there. So
Just thanks for
yeah,
the
two
number one
subs.
pick. Just tank for the number one pick and get a quarterback.
Yeah, but with that being said, I'm gonna pick Cincy. I think
I didn't realize you hadn't made your pick.
Guys,
Like,
guys, look, they're better in the back than the running game. Throwing down
All right, so I'm the only one picking the Eagles. Okay.
yeah, yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be a close game. I just see Joe having a last second drive to put them over the hump. I just have the quarterback position, most important position in the league. I think Joe Burrow's the better quarterback, even though I do like Jalen,
Mm-hmm.
but Joey B, when he gets hot, he's one of the streakiest dudes in the league, and
Joey B.
he's getting hot right now. So
It's around the time where the Bengals kind of turn it up and they
they
make
have,
that run.
I mean, they have no other choice. They started one and
Yeah.
four. They have to pick it up. So that's why I think they would win. But now on our next game, we have Buffalo at Seattle.
Yeah, Buffalo.
Give me that, man. Go ahead, Roro. What
Yeah,
you got to
no, I'm picking Buffalo. That's a
uh-huh.
no-brainer in this game.
Yep. Why?
Seattle's not bums though.
They're not.
No, they're not. They're a really
And
good
they're
team.
and
No,
they're
no,
at
it's not
home.
because of that. But
Right.
can somebody pull up the TD to turnover to interception ratio for QBs in the league? Does
Oh,
anybody have that stat? Anybody tell me who's at the top of that list?
Josh Allen,
Josh Allen would be that guy.
Who does he play for?
the Bills.
Buffalo Bills.
Okay, because I heard somewhere on the tabloids that he was just mid.
That has been addressed as of the last episode.
I don't care.
That's funny.
I did not call him mid. I said he
Did not
plays.
call him mid.
I said he has stretches of mid.
Mm.
Smith is also leading the league in
Maybe or it
passing.
ain't happened.
So he's not having that bad of a year himself.
How many touchdowns does Allen have this year?
17.
12 passing, rushing, I don't know.
Yes, 12.
12
Yeah, 12
passing?
passing and 0 interceptions. Let's see, rushing, if he has any. He has 3 rushing, so he has a total of 20.
15.
15.
15, not bad.
I said 17. I confused you.
Can't think. Can't dream.
Yeah.
So
No,
I'll
Josh
say
Allen.
by
not
the end
bad.
of this one, he'll have 17 passing touchdowns.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
So you saying he's gonna throw 5 touchdowns?
I'm saying he's going to throw 5 because Amari Cooper's going to know what routes to run this week.
Against Seattle? That's crazy.
I just realized he said 5 passing touchdowns.
Has he ever had a 5 touchdown game?
I
He
don't
will
know.
this week.
I know he had 4.
So hold on. What are you saying to us right now?
What I'm saying is that the Seahawks are in for it. They about to get smacked around. Josh Allen's going to throw 5 touchdowns, 425 yards, 3 to Amari Cooper, and we're going to see a blowout.
Okay.
42-17.
Yeah. What's the score in this blowout, B?
So I'm not going to do that, man.
I got you, Roberto. 42-17.
There you go.
That's a good blowout too.
Nah, I don't have it like that, but I do have the Buffalo Bills winning. I do have the Buffalo Bills winning. DK Metcalf is, I think
Didn't he get hurt too?
yeah, he injured his MC. He got like an MCL strain. They don't think it's gonna be long term, but usually MCL strains, that's like a 2 to 4 week injury if it's grade 1. So,
Well,
yeah. So yeah, so if they don't have DK, that's that's a big piece to lose, and they already have to overcome this solid Buffalo defense, and Josh Allen hasn't been doing a lot of mistakes, so He's actually playing a man. He's a manageable quarterback. That's what he looks like to me right
Mhm.
now. A manageable quarterback that can rush for a 90-yard TD pass. I mean TD run at any given moment. So that's dangerous. Uh, but on the next game we have Monday Night Football. Usually you don't like picking this team, but since San Francisco has so many damn injuries, who do you have on Monday night? Dallas at San Francisco.
I wonder who you have.
Unfortunately, taking Dallas.
Look, the
This
thing
is
with Dallas is like they just not even making it interesting no more. Like they they're terrible this year, bro.
This man
Like
hates
it's
the
not even
Cowboys.
fun to bash them anymore. Like it's like I don't know, man. Like before, they used to like they used to at least have some nice foreplay, but now after the first date that this shit's not gonna go far. Like this, they're playing bad. They're playing bad. But I'm sorry, guys. Who do you have? Dallas or San Francisco?
Who do you pick, Cesar?
Unfortunately, I think I might have to pick Dallas. Nah, I don't know,
Yo,
man.
you came in hot with this one, B.
Yeah.
From the beginning, son.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna pick Dallas, man. I think there's a lot of injuries to overcome.
Yeah, I'm picking Dallas too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Dallas because everything Cesar just said is absolutely correct. But the 49ers are so banged up that they cannot show up and still win. Dallas
Yeah.
can. So I don't think you can mess it up this bad.
I
I
mean
mean, they can, but
the 49ers, their running back is I think leading the league in rushing. He's not playing bad. They still got Kittle, the tight end.
yeah.
I mean, it's just yeah, it just depends. But I think Dallas has a much more explosive offense at the moment. CeeDee Lamb can pretty much do anything. And Dak is not a scrub,
Nah, he's good. He's good.
but they gotta get a lead and keep the lead. If they're playing catch up to the 49ers, they're probably gonna lose. So yeah, I got Dallas winning. I got them winning by like a field goal though.
Yeah, I think San Francisco defense would probably keep the game close.
Yeah, that's how I see the 49ers winning. If they do, is they get turnovers and that lead to scoring. That's how I see the 49ers winning if they were to win.
Listen, I'm gonna make this an emotional decision, and I don't care because I'm gonna be right, and I'm gonna win this game. Not going for these sorry ass Cowboys. They didn't go for them last year. Won't do it the year before that. I'm not gonna compromise my integrity like Cesar just did. I'll pick the 49ers and let's see how it goes. But this is purely emotional. I think I like taking this risk right here. I mean,
They might surprise the people. I mean,
it,
Dallas,
I mean, don't get me wrong. You guys gave a lot of real reasons, real life reasons why Dallas could win this game and should win this game.
Yeah.
but that's
But
always Dallas's problem.
that's always Dallas's
Yeah,
problem.
other games they should win, they lose them.
Every game they should win.
Yeah, and who
Yeah,
knows? Maybe
go Niners.
they might get a player or two back. Who knows? Maybe McCaffrey might come back or something.
Oh,
So
we'll find out. But I thoroughly enjoyed the introduction to picking those teams. Like thoroughly. That was great. Standing on my man.
appreciate you, man. Uh, but speaking of Stanny knows and shit we like and we love, the NBA season is back. We starting it off with the Knicks at Boston, and then we have, I believe, Minnesota at LA tonight, the Lakers. So we
Yeah.
might see LeBron and Bronny play for the first time an official game together.
That's gonna be so dope.
Yeah, but first off, how do y'all feel about the NBA season overall?
Mm. What
I'm glad it's back.
Yeah, me too.
I'm glad it's back. Like that's all I can say. Baseball has been really kind to me the last 2 months, and football, as exciting as it is, there's nothing like the NBA for me. So many games, always happening continually, so
Yeah.
much excitement, so much talent. I love it.
My main concerns are like some key star players are already out for a while, like Kawhi, Paul George, Embiid. Um,
Usual suspects.
yeah, so that kind of like sucks. So like I think Roberto, you had a question like what teams I expect to maybe take a step back. I could see the 76ers taking a step
Mm.
back this year because of the injuries and just whatever. I think they're gonna limp into the playoffs, which is fine, really, if they're thinking long term and maybe in the playoffs turn it up. But I don't see them being like a top four team. They'll probably be like eight, 7 or 8. The Knicks, uh, I think they might take a step back too a little bit more because of the chemistry of the team. Not too big. I think they'll still make the playoffs as well. Um, and I think like a team I ex don't like a team that I expect to be good this year might be the Memphis team, the Grizzlies. They got John Morant back, and he definitely changes the dynamic of that team. And they missed him last year, so this year hopefully he can play a full season and get them back into the playoffs and make and give the other teams hell. So those are my local teams, whatever.
Mm. Yeah, the team that I think that might take a step back this year would probably be the Golden State Warriors, even though they
Oh,
didn't
really?
get past the end game. I just feel like Curry needs help, and they really didn't make much off-season moves to kind of get him that help.
Hmm.
Unless Andrew Wiggins plays like his championship form and all these other players come back and different and rejuvenated, then I don't see them really going too far.
You don't like Buddy Hield?
Buddy Hield, he's cool. He's good. He's solid. I just don't think it's enough for them to. The West is stacked right now. Like, I mean, I wanted to ask you guys about surprise teams. I think
Hmm.
my team that might surprise us. I think that Houston Rockets team might surprise a lot of people this year. I think Şengün is gonna come back rejuvenated and go back to his Nikola Jokic form. Um, and I see these young players making a leap. Jalen Green, Amen Thompson, I, Dylan Brooks is gonna be a Necio the whole year. I like that Houston team. Uh, OKC, they might get deeper into the playoffs this year. I
Hmm.
don't see them losing in the first round either.
They
But yeah,
added
those
some
are
good OKC added some good pieces this offseason.
they did.
Yeah, Caruso and them, I think. Arts and
Yeah,
Hartstein.
Arnstein, yeah.
yeah. Alex Caruso is gonna be big for them defensively for sure. So
They would have Alex and Shea.
Yeah.
That's
That's really good.
that's a good
yeah,
ass backcourt defensively right there.
brings that championship experience.
Mm.
We've seen how big that could be
Yeah.
when Drew came to Boston, etc.
Yeah, the Thunder definitely got better. So and they're young too, so they're gonna have a lot of time. I like that. I like that team a lot.
What do you guys think about Sacramento? That's a team I think would take a step forward this year, even
Yeah.
with a stacked Western Conference. I
Mm.
like them. I would like to see how far they can get into the playoffs or how like seeding
They
wise.
added DeMar DeRozan, and
Yeah.
that alleviates a lot of things. You can create for himself. You still got Sabonis right there. Got the Aaron. That's a tough team. That's a good pick.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Hmm.
Like that.
I think that if DeMar is able to play, I mean he played on the Spurs. So yeah, I think it's a good fit. I think it's good. That's a good team to pick. How far they get last year? They got I don't even think.
play-in, was
They
it?
made the
The
play
play,
in.
and then they got bumped, right?
I
Yeah, they
think
got
so.
bumped.
Yeah, yeah. I see them going low first.
Yeah, and who do you guys have as MVPs?
Hmm.
You know who I'm gonna go? I'm gonna go with Wemby, bro.
Hmm.
Mm.
I think Wemby is gonna. I know Chris Paul will help experience wise, maturity, all that good stuff. Assuming he's healthy, but even when not, he's still a person to have on the bench to kind of lean on. I think Wemby, the best thing that happened to him was the Olympics, and even losing is fine. But just that experience and then going into the NBA season, um, he's put on some weight. Obviously, super young still, still not in his quote unquote man body. But I could see a huge season out of this dude. MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, all that.
Mm.
He went toe to toe with all the best players in the NBA in his second season, after his first season. So he's coming into the season super confident. Chris Paul's going to open that up. That's a pretty good pick right there. That's a solid. And I like him for Defensive Player of the Year as well, because he should have won it last season. Him
Yes.
Yeah.
and Davis. So I like him for that too.
Yeah. Good pick. Good coach, good team. I can see him doing some damage this year.
Yeah, he's going to be good. But
Mm.
Anthony Edwards is my pick for MVP. I see a DPOY for Wemby. And I
Mm.
see him and Anthony Edwards coming at it. I think Anthony Edwards being
I think Luca.
he got eliminated in the playoffs. Then he played alongside the best players, picked up habits, and he like, yo, this is how they work. This is how I gotta work. I gotta work harder than them. I think it's just that mentality. He's gonna be able to will that team.
Mm. You know what's funny? I was thinking about Anthony Edwards and Luka Doncic. But it's
Mm.
funny that Irvin Haciel picked them. But you know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Nikola Jokic. He's gonna win it again. Fourth MVP. He's gonna win it 5 straight years. Like, he just he covers the stat board. He has the points, the rebounds, the assists, and the shooting percentage every single year. And his all Denver needs to do really is be in the top three, and he's gonna be in the MVP conversation every single year. And honestly, every time he steps on the court, it's pretty blatant that he is the best player in the world. So I still think Anthony Edwards, he's gonna give him a run for his money, maybe next year on the best player of the world. I do see AE make a leap this year, especially his points per game mark is gonna go up since Karl Anthony Towns is not there anymore. So a lot of the offense is gonna be run through him. I also do see Luka Doncic having a big year. He will probably be my second pick, but I think Nikola might mess around and surprise us again and win it again. Unless voters get fatigued.
Yeah.
I
We
was
get
gonna
bored.
say, is he gonna get like that LeBron treatment in a sense where like should have won every year,
Yeah.
but the voters are like, nah, we gotta give it to someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Anthony Edwards can win it if he beats the teams that we're talking about. If he beats Denver and he beats the Mavericks, and like if they're tied, right? Like if they're tied for the MVP, I think he'll get the edge if he manages to beat those teams.
Mm.
Because I think he needs to show that he could beat them again. And then he'll be like MVP because he's nice,
Yeah.
but he shit the bed in the playoffs after the Phoenix series.
He got gas.
That's why they got the other players, DiVincenzo and Randall, and give them more players to pass the ball to.
What do you think about a finals matchup
I
and
haven't thought
winner?
about this.
It's tough to get to the finals.
I don't know, 'cause I got the East is gonna be tough because I I have Boston, the Bucks, and the Knicks as like the top three teams in the East. And I feel like the Bucks got something to prove. The Celtics got something to prove again, and so do the Knicks. So it's gonna be tough.
I would go Boston OKC as my
Okay,
finals matchup.
I'm not mad at it.
I like it. I like it.
I don't think Boston is gonna have that like championship hangover this season, especially with the
Nah,
whole Olympics thing with Tatum and Brown.
Yeah.
That
nah,
kind
they
of
coming.
negates, yeah, that kind of negated that championship hangover for them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
but
is. I see them in the finals. I just out west. I don't know. I don't know how brave I am. I don't know if I'm brave enough to go against the Denver Nuggets and Nikola Jokic. I think that they're like Cesar said, they always have a chance. It's a team that, and he does keep on a string. They always have a shot. He keeps percentages up, and they all follow his lead. Nobody questions anything on that team. Um, I would have loved to see Anthony Edwards. Man, I'm, I'm gonna say I'm becoming a fan, but I've been a fan. This motherfucker nasty. But OKC is a good pick, son. I think
Yeah.
OKC tasted the playoffs and they have the talent, they have all of that. It's a matter of just how do they approach this season? Are they like, yo, you know what? That felt good and mature about it, they go forward. They have Alex Caruso, like I think Cesar mentioned, that championship player was you, Roberto.
Yes, Cesar.
Yeah, like I think that's a pretty good pick. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's solid there.
So you have Boston and
I'll go Boston OKC. Had the Timberwolves kept Cat, I would have picked the
me
Timberwolves.
too. I was
But
actually gonna pick Minnesota.
100%. I would have picked them to go to the finals 100%. But that because they were rolling. I like the way they played. I like the way they used what they had. And I think that they should have kept them together.
Yeah, but let's see how Randall and DiVincenzo mesh with them. Who knows? It
Yeah,
might
it'll
be.
be interesting. I think it'll be a struggle in the beginning, but eventually I think it'll be good because that dog mentality is gonna be there. And that's gonna be a really tough team.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Nuggets and Bucks.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right. I'm gonna go. Hey, this is tough. I definitely have Boston coming out the East.
Yeah, the West was tough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go Denver, Boston and Denver. Until I see otherwise, I would have probably picked Minnesota if Cat was still there. Um, if Minnesota was to meet Denver
Mm.
in the playoffs, I don't know. I might lean towards Minnesota winning, but
But now Minnesota doesn't have Cat. They don't have the two towers to guard
Yeah, but
against.
well,
Denver got no bench.
they still got Nas Reed, and and they also
Gobert.
have long ass wing players.
But wasn't it that Cat and Gobert that what made it difficult for Jokic?
Not only for Jokic, but Jamal Murray also struggled as well
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
because of the wing defenders they got are very good. McDaniels, Jaden McDaniels, and Alexander something. Them dudes, made it very difficult on Jamal. They were swarming him, so they still have certain advantages over Denver that they could utilize,
Denver has no bench.
and that's
And
another thing.
in the playoffs, you don't rely on your bench. You go a 7-man roster.
I do like
Russell,
the I do like Russell Westbrook being joined there.
I
no,
forgot he's on that
he's
team.
a good addition, but who is he to be doing as facilitator? And he's coming off the bench and sparked them, and he's shown that he could lead a team of people who shouldn't be sniffing the playoffs into there.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I don't know how much I can rely on that. I feel like the last 2 years progressively, they've they've regressed.
Mm.
This year, a little more than last year. Last year, they regressed more than the year before that.
Okay,
That's
that's
a good
fair.
point.
Yeah.
Because 2 years ago, that team was
Yeah.
10 people deep. You'd be like, yo, and you put Nickel on any slot. If you take them out of there, they can still hold their own. They
Yeah.
have really good key players, but it's their starting five. That shit is elite.
Yeah, yeah. That starting five is
Yeah, it's
great.
no joke.
But I guess that's what makes teams like Minnesota and OKC so dangerous because they have a lot of depth.
That's what it is. That's what I look at.
Hmm. And now more than ever, it seems like durability is the most important, one of the most important attributes that you can have as a team.
I tell you this, we all went Boston pretty much, except for I think Haciel went Bucks. But if Cat does not stay soft, if Cat is tough about it and New York doesn't run him down, be careful with New York, be
Yeah, they'll be good. I think
careful with New York.
they're gonna go through a big adjustment period to start, especially with some of the injuries they have to their bigs, with Achua out for a little bit. I think he has a hamstring issue. Mitchell Robinson's out to like December or something like that. So I think this first half, I'm not too gonna rah the Knicks, even though that's my team. But yeah, like Irv said, I definitely see them in that picture towards the end of the season in the
I think
playoffs.
conference finals is the minimum they go to. And I
Yeah.
think that they'll have a chance to beat anybody in the East, in particular Boston, because especially if JT doesn't do what this season's supposed to do for him talking about he's a Kobe fan, Kobe's his favorite player. If he
Yeah.
doesn't take that leap that he understands that, yo, I'm 6'10", with a handle, I shouldn't just be shooting threes. If he, it's gonna be a problem. But in the playoffs, he has to pull through. It can't just be Jaylen Brown or New York's gonna eat him up. That's how I feel. It's sad about the 76ers, by the way. That would have been very exciting to have them in the playoffs with the Knicks, everybody healthy and shit like that.
Yeah. Hopefully they can both recover soon because I do see Tyrese Maxey making an even bigger leap this year.
Mhm.
So
Gonna have
I can
to.
see it, especially since he's gonna be running the team in the beginning.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, let's see how it goes. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I like
man.
that Buck pick, by the way, Haciel. I think Dame Lillard is gonna improve on what he did last year. Last year wasn't really a Dame Lillard type of year.
Yeah.
And he even admitted he was out of shape. I feel like this year, and then Giannis is as hungry as he's always is. They re-signed um Giannis's brother Thanasis, so you know that's a big integral piece in Giannis's happiness. So that's a good pick right there. I think Chris Middleton will have a consistent year. I think 18 to 20 points.
Yeah.
Wait, is he still there? He's not there. Am I bugging?
Middleton?
Hold on.
No, Middleton's there.
Middleton's there.
He was supposed to, wasn't he going somewhere else? I'm thinking about somebody else. He should still be there.
You
Yeah,
know,
but
the NASA's though, like no jokes aside, he's hurt for the year. He like
No,
tore
he's
his
there for the year.
Achilles.
Oh wow.
that's
Oh, yeah,
crazy.
I didn't know that.
Uh,
Damn, now I'm gonna mess up my pick now.
Yeah, you gotta rethink your stuff, bro.
Yeah, yeah, he's an
You
integral part
rethink.
of that team, man.
I mean, hopefully he gets to travel with the team at least so they could use his energy. But Chris Middleton is still with Milwaukee.
Yeah.
There's another team that we haven't really mentioned, but they will be in the picture, in the finals picture. The Dallas Mavericks, I think that they'll still be a force in the West as well.
I hope Klay Thompson has a good year, man.
Yeah, I could see Clay having a really, really good year. He's playing with two dudes that are gonna open the floor for him. So yeah, he's gonna have a lot of shots, a lot of available shots. It's just he just has to
I
knock them
just,
down.
yeah,
Make
I
him.
hope he makes them.
Yeah, I think
He
that,
had a lot of shots in the preseason.
bro. I think I saw like a highlight. They did like a low light. He had 0 points, and he played like the whole game or something. I'm like, damn, you scored 0 points, and it's just disrespectful that they made that like a highlight that he scored 0 points in an entire game. But yeah, I'm worried about that.
Yeah,
He got no legs under him. His cuts ain't the same. He obviously you don't get as much lift, but he's still one of the greatest shooters in NBA history. And a lot of times you got to respect that. I like that the floor's going to open up for him. He's going to have
Yeah,
like a true point guard, and Luka Doncic is going to find them in weird spots. But I think it's a shift that Clay has to make.
Mm.
Like the mentality, like yo, I'm not that guy anymore.
yeah.
Not like that.
You gotta be like
But
JJ Redick.
I'm not bad either. I'm good. Like I know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm a four-time champion.
yeah. And speaking of JJ Redick, I'm excited to see this Lakers team and see how they look with JJ Redick calling the plays and Bronny James, seeing where he develops.
Yeah,
Honestly, a lot of Laker fans feel that if they were playing any other team, they would have made it further in the playoffs, you know. But they just can't seem to get over the Denver hump. So yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, that's a team that who knows that they'll be interesting to watch.
I think I saw people are betting on Bronny winning Rookie of the Year, but as a long shot, so he has like the least chance of winning it. So they're betting that he'll win it, even though his chance of winning is very low.
I don't think
So,
he'll win it for the simple fact that his playing time is not going to be as high
Yeah,
as these
yeah,
top picks. So
it'll
yeah,
be a development year for him. Like he'll get some burn, especially in blowouts.
yeah,
But I don't think we'll see him like crunch time fourth quarter.
no,
Nothing like that.
unless he does some Lonnie Walker shit.
yeah. You gotta
For
step
sure.
up his game.
His last preseason game was all right. He had 17. I think it's four and
Yeah.
three. So that was all right, but it's also preseason.
Yeah,
It's not really the NBA. And the further you are into the preseason, the less you see the stars. They're like pretty much like just chilling, hanging back.
Mm-hmm.
And then so once the season opener begins, I don't know if he should spend time in the G League really, but something. He gotta
if
develop something
if he
because
can just develop kind of like how Alex Caruso developed under LeBron and the other dudes that he played with, he'll be decent. But is that gonna happen? I don't know. Because like LeBron kind of made these point guards like he got them the bag kind of because they played with him, they won a ring, they were decent players, like they're really good two-way players. So I think
Yeah.
like if LeBron can kind of help him develop into that, he'd be all right.
Even if he gets into that Miles McBride role with the Knicks, where he's a point guard that comes off the bench, good defender, can shoot the three like crazy, like brings that energy, the speed into the game. Something like that for him, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I just want to see it. I want to see how it looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be dope to see him and LeBron senior. LeBron James senior. It's crazy.
100%, bro. That's such a dope moment.
Man,
I want to see some dunks.
a nice little alley-oop. That's it.
Yeah.
That would be
Redo the Dwayne Wade to LeBron dunk from the Heat days, but with his son. That's what I want to see. Some fire. Yeah.
Bueno. On that note, fellas, this was a good one, man. NFL, NBA kicking off. We'll be back with some World Series stuff in the next day or two because we definitely got to talk Yankees Dodgers. Absolutely.
Can't wait, man. Can't
It's,
wait. Make
Oh,
sure
I
to
can't. I got a lot to say.
shout out to the Mets for making it as far as they did. Yeah,
Lulu, I'll
just
see
for
you next
you.
episode, brother.
Don't get me started right now, Oscar. We gotta wait till next time. Do not get me
All
started
right,
right
my bad.
now. Damn it, B.
Man,
All right.
make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in.
see ya.
Max.